Hi everyone, my name is Naimi, and in this channel I'll be talking about a human brain and body, as well as human consciousness, based of course on science discoveries. Well, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I never claimed to be. The reason why I do this, that since 14 years I'm diagnosing from unknown disease that simply caused me lose conscious awareness of my environment. And nobody knows what it is, it has no solution. So this disease has inspired me so much to learn about brain and body connections, about physics, about anything which is connected to us as species. So lately I put my hands on a great job and a great book from a really great person, Dr. Joe. And it helps me to just connect the lost links that I was looking for since a long time, to understand who we really are. And I would love to share this with you. So let's begin to understand the function of our brain. Well, the brain is the most complex organ in a human body. As a part of our nervous system, the brain coordinates the body's function. So now we have three brains that allow us to move from thinking to doing to being. Each brain has its own biocomputer with its own circuitry and own anatomy, as well as its own physiology and chemistry. Now the first brain, the neocortex, it's the newest brain in evolution. It's the most specialized and highly evolved in human beings. It's also known as a frontal lobe. Right under the neocortex, located our limbic brain, or the emotional brain, the chemical brain. It's about the size of a lemon and it's responsible for regulating internal chemical order. In the back of the brainstem, located our third brain. It's called cerebellum, or the reptilian brain. It's the oldest brain in evolution, and it is the seed of your subconscious mind. So now let's talk more about your neocortex. Well, your neocortex, or the thinking brain, is the seed of your conscious awareness. You're listening to me right now with your neocortex, and what neocortex loves to do is to gather informations. And every time you learn something new, you make new synaptic connections in your brain, because learning by definition is forging new connections. That's what learning means. Let me give you an example about this. You learn how to ride the bike, you learn how to be successful, you learn how to cook a vegan meal, you learn how to swim, and your brain literally upscales its hardware to develop and reflect a new level of mind. So the neuroscientific definition of mind, that mind is the brain in action. Mind is what the brain does. When you begin to learn new informations, you biologically wire these informations in your cerebral architecture. So if learning is forging new connections, then remembering is maintaining and sustaining these connections, because the principle of neuroscience says that nerve cells that fire together wire together. So when these neurons begin to fire and wire together, they actually form a networks, what scientists called neural networks. These networks actually just a gangs of neurons that connected to each other. It could be related to a skill, to an idea, behavior, or an action, or a memory. And these networks, they actually have electrochemical component, and it is generating in one day more electrical impulses than all the cell phones on planet Earth put together. Now let's move to talk about our second brain, the limbic brain. As we said, it is responsible about internal chemical orders. But let's understand the mechanism of it, how it works. So let's say you've understood something theoretically and you personalize it, you demonstrate it, you apply it in your daily life. It means you're going to change your behaviors in some way. And when you change your actions and you do something differently, it means you're going to have a new experience. So when you are in the midst of that experience, all your five senses are gathering informations from the environment. And as your brain begin to process that informations, jungles of neurons begin to organize themselves and create patterns. And once these neurons string into place, the brain releases a chemical. And that chemical, it's called a feeling or an emotion. So let's put it together then. Experience enriches the circuitry in your brain neurologically, and then it produces a chemical that is released in the second brain, the emotional brain. So you can remember graduating from high school, you can remember your first kiss, you can remember graduating from a college, you can remember the birth of your first child. So we could say then that you were altered from that experience. That's why you remember everything about it. You remember which day it was even. So a good example then about this, that all people who live in Berlin remember exactly what happened in the Christmas market in Kudam in 2016. So you can tell me what day it was and who you were with and what you were doing exactly. So we could say then, everything you were seeing and feeling and hearing in that experience has changed your internal chemical state. At the moment you felt altered internally, your brain perked up and you paid all your attention to whoever or whatever caused it. And the same exact example applies on Americans in the 9/11 event. And this event or experience in and of itself, it's called a memory. Now, our third brain, the last brain that we want to talk about in this video, it's called cerebellum, or it's the seat or the reptilian brain. It's the seat of our subconscious mind. It is the oldest brain in evolution, and it is responsible about our behaviors. It's automatic behaviors that our bodies knows how to do it more than our mind. It is a record of the past, of what we've learned, so our bodies knows exactly how to do it. And our bodies, or the cerebellum, the subconscious mind, does not know the difference between the real event that you are in or the event that you fabricate by thought alone. So let me tell you how. For example, you're sitting and watching a soccer match. So you are so much into it and you're a fan of, I don't know, Real Madrid or whatever, Barcelona or whatever it is. And you feel so into the match and you react to it as you are inside the game, right? So for the sudden your heartbeat increase and you start to really feel that you want to move while you're just sitting on the couch watching the match. Well, another example about this is, like, I guess all of us when we watched a horror movie, we start, when we finish and go later on to sleep, we start just to think that the ghost is under the bed. We start just to think about it, and then for the sudden our bodies believe that there is a ghost under the bed, and then for the sudden also your heartbeat a bit increase and your mouth get a little bit dry and you turn on the stress response just by thought alone. It does not know the difference between the real event or the event that you fabricated by thought alone. So if you enjoyed what I'm sharing, like the video and share it with people you care about, because what's coming next is more interesting. It's the base of our channel now, to understand how to become more happier, more healthier, more wealthier. We're gonna understand step by step how to change our personalities, how to change our life for a better understanding of who we really are. And that's it. See you. Bye.